Welcome, beautiful people, to season 2, episode 9 of Jahmi Roc's Jottings. This seriously silly space for intentional musicology, sonic joy, and the kind of reggae insight that'll keep your mind rocking and your thoughts swaying. I'm your host, Jahmi Roc, aka Racquel Bernard. Let's jam our way into a conversation with returning guest Nikkita Nuclear Blackness McPherson. This time, we will be talking about songs responding to disasters, especially hurricanes, given the recent trouble of Hurricane Melissa. Now, Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica on October 28th, 2025, as a historic Category 5 storm, the strongest hurricane ever recorded on the island. It unleashed winds up to 185 miles per hour, causing catastrophic flooding, landslides, and widespread destruction, particularly in western areas like Black River and Montego Bay. Most of Jamaica was left without electricity and thousands sought refuge in emergency shelters, with the death toll surpassing 28 and expected to rise as recovery continues. The impact was so severe that Hurricane Melissa is now regarded as Jamaica's storm of the century, prompting large scale international relief and ongoing rebuilding efforts. Given the impact of the storm, many people are jumping to action. With the encouragement of Dale Virgo, big up Dizzle, I decided to focus on hurricane related songs in this podcast, and I'm honored that Nikkita agreed to join me on this journey. Thank you, Nikkita.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me again.
For sure, for sure. It's my pleasure. So, we went through a few songs. I think we went through 6 songs,
Hmm.
and a lot of them were new to me. Some I had heard once or twice before. Um, Big up Lauren Overton Burnett for sending me the first song, Lovindeer's Wild Gilbert. So I like that one.
Yeah,
Old school one, re responding to Hurricane Gilbert, which was the last biggest hurricane,
yeah,
right, to really hit Jamaica.
yeah,
And I like how Lovindeer does it because he has this whole um nursery rhyme approach to it. The
yeah,
dish ran away with the spoon,
yeah,
um, which is just like very engaging. And then he just play on word with like the dish ran away with the spoon, but also like his satellite dish. Uno semi dish, uno semi dish, uno semi satellite dish. You know?
yeah. Hmm. Given the personification,
Mm,
using a lot of figurative language to tell the story and paint a picture.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. It was cool. Um, I like the part of the song where he's like, "Oh, we're gonna call on Selassie, and they're gonna know that, to give reverence to Selassie after this storm." Um, and it's interesting how he talks about Gilbert in this almost comedic way, right?
hmm,
And like, oh, now that you're gone, we can chat behind your back.
yeah, yeah.
Ah.
I really appreciate the comedic relief, and the painting a picture of what, because we know it's devastating, right?
Mhm.
And at the same time, that is to me a part of the Jamaican spirit of making, turning something devastating and transforming that energy into something that can be hopeful or healing, or like in a comedic way, for example, um, is really it. Because my mom talks a lot about Hurricane Gilbert,
Hmm.
because she lived through it.
Yeah.
And so it just made me think back to like how she talked about it. And it's talked about like Gilbert couldn't defeat Jamaica.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the things that jumps to my mind when it comes to this song, Wild Gilbert, is just how undefeatable Jamaican spirit is. And it
Yeah.
reminds me of the videos on social media where, like, honestly, it was very dangerous for these folks to be out in the middle of the storm reenacting What About Us by Michael Jackson, air
Yeah.
bending, water bending, talking about bomba clot this to the waves and stuff. Very dangerous.
Mhm.
Very dangerous. And you had a lot of people like, I take my prayers back.
Yep,
They're so
yep,
unserious,
yep.
you know. And so it's hard it's a balance, right? Because we see the devastation and it is so heartbreaking to see how so many people lost their homes. And at the
Hmm.
same time, it's like this idea that life is going to continue despite
Right,
the devastation.
right. And we are such great storytellers. Um, we use so much of the skill of the griot, the
Yes.
just being oral historians, in a meaningful way.
Mm-hmm. That's real. That's real. And then we also, took another dive into this like 1950s era calypso song by Lord Beginner, called Jamaica Hurricane. And that was, that calypso feel, definitely that storytelling kind of feel. Um, it had an interesting sound to it. It felt almost like a road march, but it was then reflective at the same time.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and to your point, I felt hopeful.
Yeah.
That song elicited the feeling of hope, and there was also naming what was happening in Jamaica prior to the hurricane coming. So the stuff that's happening, or what people might, if we're going to categorize it in a binary, the more negative things that happen in Jamaica prior to the storm coming. Um, sorry, I'm mixing up songs. I skipped. Sorry. I meant the realities of documenting what happens after the storm in
Hmm.
this particular song. Sorry.
No
Um,
worries.
and painting a picture of not only what happened during the storm, but after the storm.
Hmm. Yeah, just to take a couple of the lyrics from it, right? You have the winds was lashing so hard that Saturday. People was notice me. Though the sun soldier house is all crumbling, furniture stumbling, thousands of people was take the mice. Um, Kingston, the city, was far outlet. Well, I I mean reading these lyrics, I wonder if they're accurate.
We a little we do the hyperbole. We do it well. We exaggerate very well, just to make sure the point gets across.
That's true. That's true. And sometimes the folks who make these lyrics don't really understand the patois and the
Yeah,
Creole
right. When they
languages
try to
as well.
translate, yeah.
Hmm. But while houses was falling, AI, um, the people was bawling, oh Lord, convicts didn't fall to run away, fail to run away from Kingston jail. I'm reminded
Yeah.
by what you said earlier, Nikita, and you're like, the song kind of snitching.
It's like, if it's a petty crime, they in jail for. Well, I'm an abolitionist. Well, anyway, they were snitching.
Hmm. I feel that. I feel that. Thousands are homeless now in Jamaica. We must consider. Money came in from every direction to help the situation. Council McIntosh put for what he have, and Reverend Dell with his relief fund. A sad calamity it was in history, so kept in memory. You know, we see where again today thousands are homeless.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and it's It's one thing to live through the destruction and witness it from afar or witness it up close, live through it.
Mhm.
But it's like to know that this is not the first time in history, right? That
Mhm.
these things have come to pass, right?
Yeah.
It makes you have a connection to the past, you know?
Yes.
So it's it's on one hand it's encouraging to know that this happened before and they rebuilt, and it's like it happening again in Jamaica. We will rebuild,
Right.
Jamaica will rebuild again. We will rise again, as one of the songs that we'll talk about later talks about. Yeah. So that was Lord Beginner, her Jamaica Hurricane, and then Mr. Chronixx.
Yeah.
Mr. Chronixx with his well anticipated return
Yeah.
to music, his return from exile. What a coincidence that one of his songs on
Song was
um,
Hurricane.
was Hurricane. Yeah. Didn't know the hurricane was coming yet. But
Yeah.
got this song here, Hurricane, right? We knew it was, did he time it? He knew it was hurricane season still, the tail season, I don't know, but now it's been used on a number of social media posts. Like you have Chronixx Hurricane being used, that
Mhm.
one and his song Resilient are
Mhm.
being used on a lot of different hurricane related relief posts.
Yeah. And that makes sense because his song is about community support. It's about mutual aid. It's also a space to embody the feeling of devastation. It's a space to be able to sit with the fact that this is hard, this is devastating, especially because, and I won't get too much into it, but it's preventable,
Mm-hmm.
right? These are man-made disasters at this point, given the climate catastrophe we're in, right? And so, um, knowing that there are oligarchs and these companies that are fracking and allow polluting the atmosphere and causing the heating up of the ocean and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a way in which that song allowed me to be like, it should have fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah,
And but still let's be hopeful.
that's right.
Still let's lean on each other.
Right.
Still let's hold space for each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's real. And the sound of that song, the acoustic guitar, it's so
Yeah,
calming. You know what
yeah,
I mean? He's talking about the eye of the hurricane, which is the most destructive part of the
yeah,
hurricane, right? And he just has this like nice,
yeah.
soothing voice. As he
Mhm.
talks about that duality that we see in a lot of these songs, where there's comedy and disaster, or calming and violent storm. Like you have that duality being held in a very tender way by
Yeah,
in this tune. So I
for
really
sure.
yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I've taken a small sidestep. It's been interesting hearing the various reactions to the Chronixx album overall. I've heard some people say that it should have been half as long as it was. It should have been an EP. It shouldn't have been a full album. Have some people say, oh, the mixing wasn't done properly. There's like the instruments are too loud. They should have had somebody else produce, or some parts of it. There should have been more collaboration with production and all of that. But people loved it. Like they
I
don't.
love the album.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I
I
miss
enjoyed
Chronic.
it.
I
I
miss.
enjoyed it. So
Hmm.
people got a lot to say when they don't put in work.
Ah, yes, I. That's real. I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed it too, and it definitely this very interesting, almost foresight. It feels very prophetic,
Yeah.
the way
Hmm.
that that song works. But big up Chronixx on Hurricane. And then we're gonna take it back a few years to Adios Irma by Mr. Vegas. So this one was done on the Crash Rhythm. He had used Crash Rhythm for his song She's a Hoe. Um, and now the hoe in question is Hurricane Irma, right?
Yeah,
The Crash Rhythm was produced by Byron Murray for In the Streets record. What did you think of Adios Irma, Nikkita?
I thought it was very comedic. And there's a way where Jamaican people, we if we gonna talk bad about something or someone, we gonna really drag them as much as we can. Um, and I wrote down like it's like a sort of banishing,
Mm-hmm.
like banish out the evil. That's what it felt like banish out this this evil that's happening. And I say evil intentionally because there was faith and religion was coming into the song, talking
Yeah.
about God and Jah, and so and also using figurative language like the other songs.
Yes.
Um, but I really appreciated the roasting of the natural disaster, this natural disaster,
Yeah, man.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like the use of the Spanish, right? This idea of like adios,
Mm,
like, giving hail to the fact that it's a Spanish name.
yeah.
And even now, like the ways that these storms hit both English speaking and Spanish speaking, French speaking, Dutch speaking, Caribbean, all of the little different phones, the Anglophone, the Hispanophone, the Francophone, different countries have to deal with these disasters. So I like that he kind of incorporated that Spanish language bit
Mhm.
into it. Um, I definitely like the way he was like telling off the storm. It was giving a little wild Gilbert feel, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're gonna talk bad about you now that you are gone."
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that is something that lines it up with other tunes about the hurricane, right?
Hmm.
It was a good one. And like I like the use of rhythms in reggae
Yeah.
and dance hall, So because when it came on, I was like, I know this rhythm. Like I've heard
Yeah.
it before. So it gives you this sense of familiarity.
Yeah.
And again, it's like reimagining a new song on top of it. So just endless creativity at the
Mhm.
same time. I know there's some people who misunderstand rhythms and they're like, why are we listening to the same song over and over? And it's like, it's not the same song, it's
It's a
different.
difference. Yeah. Right.
It's a different song, different rhythms. And I remember learning about how the producer, the audio engineer, became a kind of artist himself or herself with how they muted certain parts of the track to like change up the rhythm a little bit while they were creating that new song, right? So they would mute out the horns in certain section or mute out the bang of the keyboard in certain sections and then bring it back in, or just how they would like play with the volume up and down to give a kind of surge feel. So it's interesting the way that rhythms work, right? Um, and yeah, I like the double meanings that come out of this one as well. Yeah. Adios, Irma. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And now let's jump to the next one. Rise Again. Now, this one was touched by many people. You had Shaggy, Sean Paul, Sean Kingston, Tessanne Chin, Allison Hines, Itana. Um, it's an all-star Caribbean anthem originally created in 2010 to support relief efforts after the devastating Haiti earthquake. It was written by Shaggy and produced by Christopher Birch. And the track features a powerful lineup of artists, some of whom I've already named, others across Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad. The music video was directed by Jay Will and was filmed in Jamaica and showcases scenes of hope, unity, and Caribbean resilience, releasing both moving visuals and messages of solidarity for disaster victims. Though it was originally created for Haiti relief, Rise Again has found renewed life as a soundtrack for videos documenting Jamaica's recovery for Hurricane Melissa in 2025, symbolizing hope and the collective will to rebuild after tragedy. The message and refrain, We Rise Again, captures both the regional spirit of support and Jamaica's ongoing struggle to overcome disaster. We Shall Rise Again. It's such a ballad. It's such
Yeah,
a ballad.
yeah. I was fighting tears as I listened,
Mm,
because not for nothing, the way that Haiti has been treated for centuries
hmm
is inhumane and demonic, I
Yeah,
find. And when this disaster specifically, the Red Cross can't account for so much money that was supposed to be given to Haiti.
yeah.
And for Jamaican people to come together and center humanity and love. There was this constant mentioning of love in the song.
Yeah.
And, um, I think about Bob Marley's song, One Love, One Heart.
hmm
And so it's, uh, it's also this power of manifestation of like, we're going to be okay. We're going to rise again. Everything will work itself out. But there's coupled with we have to be the ones to rise up. We have
Yeah,
to be the ones to lift each other up
that's right.
as we're rising up.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. And I'm just, moved by how many artists are showing up. Sean Paul,
Beanie
Shaggy,
Man.
Rihanna. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
many are stepping up. So many are stepping up to help
Mm-hmm.
on the ground, moving supplies, getting money, doing fundraisers. It's all
Yep.
moving. Um, and in this song, you have this, it ends with this choral vamp, right? These virtuoso ad-libs over the repeating phrases. And you have this moment where the instrumental falls out and you just have like the percussion and the drums. And this is like, we shall rise again, we shall rise again being sang and the lead vocalist over it just doing their runs and melismas and just going off. And it's a beautifully arranged track
Yeah.
they put together. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that this song was originally for Haiti when I was hearing it because I was like, wow, they move fast. And like, how did they make a song about Hurricane Melissa fast, right? But there's actually been quite a few songs about Hurricane Melissa that came out. We listened to one by Ronnie Rasta City by Hurricane Melissa. Came out on YouTube. The official video came out on YouTube 5 days ago.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It was like this dance hall feel, very kind of almost like an alkaline type of delivery,
Yeah.
if I could say that, you know what I mean? And he was talking about how he had the location in Portmore opens up with this the sound of the news anchors talking about Hurricane Melissa into this what is very like a DIY uh type of aesthetic of the music video itself. And you can tell it's like they were going through it when they were trying to make the music video. um and like even moments where he's like outside and like it's raining, he's on the porch and it's
Mm-hmm.
raining, and you're like, wow, the reflection, like he's in the song talking about like Hurricane Melissa is outside right now. It's like
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
timely message.
Yeah. And there was a lot of gratitude that was expressed in that song that I didn't really, it was implied in the other songs, but it was like outwardly expressed in this song.
Yeah.
Gratitude for the land, gratitude for the people. Um, Also talking about mutual aid, also naming the emotions that's coming up while this hurricane is coming, and to remain hopeful. And then there was a moment where he talks about the fact that there was conditions in Jamaica that were devastating prior to the hurricane. He mentions
Right?
that, and the ways in which we know that when disasters like hurricanes happen, anything that already was fucked up is going to be brought to the surface. It's like an
Yeah,
unhealed wound,
right.
a wound that's infected, and that's just been covered up. So any problems in Jamaica that have already that we can name and talk about, um, those are going to be amplified, you know, in particular ways, unfortunately.
That's real. That's real. So I hope all of our listeners will go out and listen to these songs. Um, get in the comment section here on Spotify or on Castbox if you're listening over there, or on Amazon Podcast if you're listening over there. Get in that comment box and let us know what you think of Wild Gilbert by Lovindeer, Jamaica Hurricane by Lord Beginner, Chronixx's Hurricane, Mr. Vegas's Adios Irma, or the Grand Caribbean team who did Rise Again, or Ronnie Rasta City's Hurricane Melissa. Take a listen to them and tell us what you think about them. We appreciate you. This has been episode 9 of season 2 of Jahmi Roc's Jottings. I've been your host, Jahmi Roc, aka Racquel Bernard, giving a big up to my co-host, Nikkita Nuclear Blackness McPherson. Big up yourself, my girl. And we thank you so much for listening. We look forward to coming at you another Monday in the future. Big up, bless up, and take care.